Hello and welcome to this video. In this video I want to just discuss the benefits of selling in the US and the benefits of selling in the UK and which one is better to start in. So before we get started, please consider clicking that subscribe button and hitting the bell notification so you know when I bring out new videos, and let's get right into it. So I've actually written some notes on my computer here so that I've planned out this video so that I don't miss anything out. And I'm going to go through it. So let's start with the US first. So to start with, the US is a much bigger market. So you have the potential of getting a lot more sales, reaching a lot more people, and actually making a lot more money. Now that has drawbacks to it as well, such as it's going to be a lot harder to compete in because it's a much bigger market and there's a lot more people competing in that market. The US has many more products to choose from. So if you decide to sell in the US over the UK, the range of products that will be potential winners will be much larger in the US than in the UK. Now with the pound being bad at the moment because of Brexit, I mean it's not so bad but it's still pretty bad. With the pound being bad, it's very good being able to sell in dollars because when you convert it, it's you end up making a lot more money. So that's actually a plus at the moment. It never used to be a plus, but it's actually a plus at the moment because the pound is not so strong. Another cool benefit is that you don't have to pay VAT. So if you register for VAT, if you have a limited company in the UK and you register it for VAT and you claim back whatever you have to claim back, if you're selling predominantly in the US and your money's coming from the US, then you don't have to pay VAT on those sales. So that means you're able to claim back all this money but not actually have to pay any, which could actually get you quite a lot of money back, could actually save you quite a lot of money. So that's just another useful thing for selling in the US. And another main point is it's much cheaper, or not much cheaper, but it's cheaper to send from China to the US than it is to send from China to the UK. I'm not quite sure why this is. For us, it's $6 per kilogram or per kilo to send to the US and $6.50 to send to the UK. So I don't know why this is, but that's what we pay. So those are the benefits, I would say, of, and some of the drawbacks, but those are the benefits of selling in the US. And the benefits of selling in the UK are as follows. So it's a much smaller market. Now you may be thinking, well, why is that a benefit? Well, the reason that we believe that's a benefit is because a smaller market is much easier to compete in. So for example, with our product, we got it to the number one page, and the number 3 spot, I think it was. I don't remember, it was a long time ago. But we got it very high up within a couple of days. Whereas with the US, it took us well over a month. So it's much easier to compete in the UK. Yes, there are a lot less products to choose from and there's a lot less demand. But when you find a good product, it's going to be a lot easier to compete with or to compete in. The benefit for us, well, okay, so we have a major benefit, and that's because we live here in the UK. So that's obviously going to be a benefit for us. However, if you're from the US, then that's not going to be a benefit for you. Or if you're from anywhere else in the world, that's not going to be a benefit for you. But because we're from the UK, that's just another benefit for us. Customer service and just speaking to Amazon about any problems is much easier because you're on the same time zone. So speaking to Amazon, they shut at a specific time. In the UK, I think it's 8 o'clock. So being able to speak to them during working hours is much easier, and also speaking to your customers when you get an email from them, rather than get an email when you're sleeping and then respond to it 12 hours later, you can get an email and respond to it fairly quickly. So those are two quite big benefits. Getting reviews is going to be a lot easier because you can ask friends, I wouldn't suggest family at this point, but you can ask friends, and you can find review groups in the UK. And just general people you meet, you can get them to review it, whereas in America it's a lot harder because you're not actually in America. So getting reviews is a pain. We've been there, it's a pain. Customs is much easier because, again, you're here, you're in the UK, you are your own point of contact. So with customs, you generally need a point of contact, someone that they can send the invoice to, someone they can contact if anything goes wrong or if your stuff gets stuck. So being in the US, that was quite difficult because we were in the UK and we couldn't really do anything about it. We had to find a point of contact who could help us out. Whereas in the UK, we live here, so sorting out customs is really easy. It's just a phone call or an email. And lastly, you can charge the same amount in pounds as you do in dollars. So if you're selling in the US for $15, you could probably get away with charging £15 in the UK, and which could actually make you a lot of money. The only downside is if you are VAT registered, you're going to have to be paying VAT on top of that, whereas in the US you won't have to be paying VAT on top of that. So what's the verdict? Which one should you go for? Well, firstly, if you're from the US, then start with the US. That's common sense. If you're from the UK, start with the UK. Again, that's common sense. If you're not from the US or the UK, which one should you start with? Well, I prefer the UK just because it's a much smaller market, much easier to compete in, and you can get to #1 spot very, very quickly. However, if you have a bit more money to start with, and you can do a few more promotional tactics, spend a bit more money on PPC and do all these other things, then I would recommend going to the US because it is a much bigger market and there has a lot more demand and there's a lot more scalability in the US market. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think is better, the US or the UK market. Again, don't forget with the UK market, you get access to all of Europe as well, which is very, very useful. So let me know in the comments below what you think, and please leave this video a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's video. So thanks so much for watching.